Well, we have an action-packed agenda for you. We're going to get into the next 40 minutes or so. We have several presentations, and thank you for being here to support your fellow students and faculty in the efforts that have gone on over the course of the semester. My name is Chris Hall. I'm the program manager for the Interprofessional Education Collaborative and the SBIRT grant. If you want to know more about SBIRT, ask me. I won't take up your time now with it. Our director is Shelley Cohen-Conrad, who's also the director of the School of Social Work. And we work for the students and we work for the faculty in your various programs. What we do is create interprofessional extracurricular activities so that you can have experience in IPE while the competencies are being painstakingly worked into your curriculum to meet new and evolving accreditation standards. All the students presenting today are eligible to use the project that they've done toward their honors distinction, which is a way of recognizing the extracurricular activity. IPE can be as much or as little work as you let it be, and many people have worked very hard on their projects today, so we're happy to be able to showcase them. And we have projects ranging from interprofessional mini grants, which are small grants run from the IPEC office. We're funded by the Brian Dallaire, who is a former Board of Trustees member, and we get funding from the Research and Scholarship Office as well to support student interest and ideas about research and scholarship that forward knowledge about IPE. So we have some mini grant presentations and posters. We have some IPE service learning, most particularly in the Cumberland County Jail, but also this time we're talking about Day 1, which is an exciting partnership. And we're happy to be joined today by folks from the Center for Health Innovation who will talk about the continuation of your interprofessional story into your clinical rotations. I do, as is everyone's job who gets to stand in front of the microphone, I must thank about 100 people who helped me get here today for this event. The Interprofessional Education Collaborative staff is myself and Brianna Nally, who also is a co-conspirator on the SBIRT grant, so thank you, Brianna. And we also have several very, can't do without them, graduate assistants. Julia Bergquist, where are you? She's waving. Morgan Mitchell, there you are, thank you. Allison Dillon and Lauren Hallberg, thank you so much for helping us. Also, shout out to Dave DeDiego in the world of IT and events. He's there every time we record or live stream, and he makes us look good even though we're not making television, so I appreciate that. So I would like to start by awarding a honors distinction to a student who is graduating in December. So Shelley, if you want to come up. It is.
So hello everybody, it's so exciting to see you. I just want to say that one of the things we've been really trying to do is scale up the number of students who are participating in campus in various and sundry interprofessional learning projects. And so the poster sessions today show everybody how much work is going on. And I wrote a letter to the provost, who is here, I believe, somewhere in the room. Mike Shilton, can you raise your hand? Where are you? Maybe he just walked through, but I told him last week about a day in the life of IPEC. It was, I believe, last Wednesday, when from the beginning of the day to the end of the day, we had over 100 students participating during the course of the day in interprofessional learning opportunities that were small and interactive, but there were many of them going on at the same time. So we're very proud of this. And I also feel that I would be very neglectful not to have you give a huge round of applause for Chris Hall, who does this. tirelessly, tirelessly. So thank you. It is my honor now. The School of Social Work has an accelerated program that graduates our students in December. And we have a student, Deanna Barry, who has earned her Interprofessional Honors Distinction. So Deanna, will you come up and receive this award? Woo! We are so excited that we have cords. So,
I'm excited.
Yes, so here's your cord. And here's your honors distinction. Thank you so much. Just as an aside, at that very moment, I was integrated as both the director of IPEC and the director of the School of Social Work, so that felt very good. Thank you, guys.
I also want to recognize Kayla Bartnicki and Allison Weiner, who are undergraduates who are graduating in December. They weren't able to make it today, but they also have earned their honors distinction. So I'd like to call up Ian Imbert from the Center for Excellence in Health Innovation to talk to us about what they do and what's available to you as students after you move into the clinical.
All right, hi everyone, I'm Ian Imbert. I am an alumnus of the University of New England's Master of Public Health program. As my time as a student in the MPH program, I, like you, was very involved in the different interprofessional education opportunities that were available. I graduated with the Interprofessional Honors Distinction. I think I was one of 6 students that year who received the distinction. In my discussions with Chris, I think that number has gone up tenfold at least. Yeah, well over 100, so and congratulations to Deanna for getting that. For the last year and a half, I've been coordinating a 4-year Josiah Macy Jr. grant. The Macy Foundation awards funding to academic universities that have healthcare programs. Josiah Macy Jr. passed away from, in today's day and age, would be considered a very treatable disease, and the family thought that there was some communication and team breakdowns during their grandfather's treatment, so they set this foundation who dedicates their resources to improving healthcare education at academic universities. So about 2.5 years ago, UNE received this 4-year grant. One of the first things that we did was my team developed the clinical and professional curriculum. This is a tool we use to create a number of our learning activities that we offer to UNE students. Some of these learning activities are offered on campus, some are off campus, some are more time intensive than others, but all of our activities also qualify towards the Interprofessional Honors Distinction. The activity that I'm here to talk to you today are the clinical interprofessional clerkships. This is kind of our culminating activity. So for those of you who might be wondering what happens with interprofessional education and practice once you go onto your clinical sites, it doesn't just end. There are more opportunities to stay involved and to continue to grow that knowledge around interprofessional care. So a little bit more on these clinical interprofessional clerkships. In these, we try to pair ideally two or more UNE students from at least 2 different healthcare professions at the same site or at nearby sites. And as part of your normal rotation requirements, you'll spend 4 to 8 hours per week on structured clinical interprofession and professional and population health learning activities. These are things that might look like some of these transitions of care, so working on some of the team steps competencies like warm handoffs, shared patient visits where 2 or more students might work with a preceptor to do a comprehensive exam and develop a care plan for a patient. A variety of different population health learning activities in the community, doing health education with people like nutrition educators or substance use prevention coordinators. And another example would be doing home visits, where you and 1 or 2 or sometimes even 3 more students and a preceptor will go out to a patient's home and get to see the patient through a whole nother lens than you would normally see them in a practice. These are the different sites that we have had clinical interprofessional clerkships. Right now, all of our sites are in Maine. We are looking at expanding into parts of New Hampshire and Vermont, but right now the opportunities exist in Maine. The orange circles represent primary care centers, and the blue circles are hospitals. This is an article written by third-year osteopathic medical student Sam Wood. Sam, like you, was very involved in a lot of the interprofessional education opportunities for students during his didactic years in the College of Medicine. And Sam reached out to us when he was preparing to go out for his clinicals in his third year and wanted to continue that interprofessional experience. So we set Sam up with a 4-year interprofessional community health rotation, 4-week interprofessional community health rotation at Nassau Valley Health Center in Sanford, Maine, which is sort of at the southwestern tip of Maine. And Sam, couldn't say enough good things about the experience. So he wanted to share his experience with others. So he wrote it up, and it was published into a journal not too long ago. It's a really nice read. I have copies of it for anyone who might be interested. Feel free to stop by after the presentation. Sam kind of details his 4-week community health rotation chronologically through looking at one patient in particular who he calls Judy. So this article gives you a good idea of what an experience might look like in one of these clinical clerkships, looking through the eyes of a UNE student. So as you prepare to select your sites and go out into the community to do your clerkships, keep us in mind. We would love to continue to work with you through the interprofessional care and population health activities that we offer through these clinical clerkships. So thank you, Chris and Shelley, for inviting me up here to talk. And this is my contact information. Feel free to reach out to me.
The Center for Excellence also has a poster over there that talks about some of their activities, so feel free to check that out after the events are over. Now our next presentation is a student-led mini grant called Intercultural Health and Science Program for Youth Empowerment. And whoever is ready to make that presentation, come on up.
Hi guys, how are we doing this afternoon? Good. Tired. It's the end of semester. My name is Alyssa Wyman. I'm a second-year student in the School of Social Work, and I, along with my colleagues up here, wrote a mini grant with youth from the Passamaquoddy community. In this program, we ended up calling SBIRT. So, our mission, we are a summer learning experience for Passamaquoddy youth, grades 5 through 7, that aim to introduce students to higher education in the health professions while emphasizing community engagement, positive youth identity development, and culturally competent education, which is a really wordy. But basically this kind of came from our collective desire to really bring the Native American voice into UNE and how to better establish those connections and that communication, as well as bringing the health professions and this sort of interprofessional role to that community and teaching students. We thought, what better way to help with those communications and that connections than by targeting youth and getting the youth voice heard. So, first and foremost, we wanted to create a platform for our students to explore potential careers. We had social work, pharmacy, osteopathic medicine, and you'll hear from them shortly. So we wanted to have an introduction to the health professions, kind of what we do, but also how we can work together within their community and within larger communities as a whole. We also wanted to be really intentional about our sustainability, not kind of breezing into the community, really close-knit, wonderful community, and then leaving and never being heard from again. So we're also presenting a little bit selfishly today to try and find more connections for anybody who's interested to help this program kind of continue forward and become a long-lasting relationship with the Passamaquoddy and maybe even other tribal communities throughout the state of Maine. And then also, because we are students here, for us it was a lot about how we became more culturally competent and able to create this curriculum that was based on cultural competency, and also a really great opportunity for rural immersion as well. So our curriculum was built on a few kind of key principles. We tried to really emphasize this experiential, hands-on, having the kids learn about the scientific process and different experiments, as well as what we social workers do. We also brought in a lot of community members and got feedback from them for what they want their students to learn about and what's important within their community. We also wanted to make sure we weren't repeating curriculum that was in the school and kind of building upon what they already knew. But ultimately, I think my goal, and I think all of our goal, was kind of enhancing that student self-efficacy. We used a positive youth identity and development model, and really trying to help them create the futures that they would like. And I used to work in outdoor ed, so I snuck that in there as best I could, and we did some experiential stuff outside and some meditation, and kind of using that model as our scope of practice.
So our curriculum came to life in our day-to-day activities. So the structure of the camp was pretty much consistent from day to day, but the activities varied depending on what we had planned. The morning always opened with a morning circle, and it was a way for us to connect with the youth and just kind of share our vision for the day and what we were going to do together. And then we moved into one of our different activities, and it was either based in health and wellness or science. So the youth did meditation, they did yoga, they did expressive art, and they also made chapstick and slime at some point. And then there was time carved out during the day for their community service project, and this was a project designed by the youth that envisioned changes and things that they would like to see within their community. And followed in the afternoon, they did more activities, which centered around, they had someone from Maine Wabanaki Health come in to speak with them, and they also had a session from our osteopathic medicine professional on substance use disorder. And so really they did a lot of different things that exposed them to the health professions, and this allowed them to just do it in a safe and respectful environment.
So I'm going to talk about the social work perspective within the curriculum. Essentially, what we define the role of the social worker as within this project as someone whose purpose is to improve the holistic well-being of the individuals involved in our program, as well as their communities, and just focus on a person and environment approach to what's been going on with them to promote health and social justice. That's what we do. Our focus as social workers, we're on strength-based mindfulness work and guided meditation, as well as an introduction to coping skills and what those can look like for individuals, with an emphasis on resiliency. They have a very resilient community, and so that was a great focus. And again, as mentioned, cultural competency is a huge part of social work, so we really tried to do a lot of education surrounding that, and a definition of that being the ability of providers and organizations to effectively meet the social, cultural, and linguistic needs of that population.
Speaking from the osteopathic perspective, we first discussed the approach of an osteopathic doctor and how they view the body as a unit of possessing self-healing mechanisms, as well as really focusing on the interconnection between structure and function. As Alana mentioned before, we did delve into a discussion on substances of misuse, their effects on the human body, and we went further to discuss the differentiation between addiction and dependence, which is oftentimes misunderstood in many circumstances. Furthermore, we discussed the role of the osteopathic physician in the healthcare team, as well as their interconnections with the other health professions.
And from the pharmacy standpoint, we made chopstick, but nothing compared to their activity with slime. A part of the big issue with sciences, especially sciences when it comes to middle school, is accessing what they already know so that they find interest. So when they picked the project, it was a perfect segue for us. That was my favorite moment. as a pharmacist, a lot of people only notice you in the community setting. But with the children, what happened is you had to build these relationships. And fostering those relationships with them gave them a different standpoint and idea of what a medical professional could be. Many of them are distrusting because of cultural norms of the medical professional fields and are just unaware of their options. So, I went through a little bit of chemistry with them and they frowned, but when it was their turn to mix and boil and pour and yes, make slime, they realized just how brilliant they were. And I would hope that others sign on so that we can continue. So I'm here for a while and so is Christina. So but these ladies graduate shortly.
So at the end of our week, we did a student evaluative survey, and we just asked a few questions. The first one was, what did you learn this week? We had a student say that science is not just for fun, which is great. That's what we were hoping for. They said they learned crafts like slime and chapstick. Slime was definitely the theme of the week. I have to say, I really enjoyed it myself. They also mentioned learning about yoga and nutrition. When asked their favorite part of SBARC, one student responded, my favorite part was everything, so that was really amazing to hear. We also wanted to learn, we asked them what they wanted to learn more of, and they said sports and games, so more physical activities, and we talked about this in our debriefs, but definitely moving forward, we'd need to make sure we were outside more and meeting that need. We also asked if they gained a better understanding of how the health professions work together, bringing in that interprofessional education. We asked this on a scale from 1 to 5, where 1 was not having a very good understanding and 5 was having a very good understanding. And there was an average score of around 3.4, so kind of in the middle. I think that's probably attributable to them being so young, 5th to 7th grade, just sort of starting to grasp those concepts. And we also asked them to define wellness, because that was the theme of the week. 2 said being healthy, 2 said being well, and then 1 said taking care of yourself, so that was great. And our final question was, do you feel you gained a better understanding of substance misuse? And we used the same 1 to 5 scale, and the average score of that was a 3.1, so again, right in the middle.
So just to wrap up, this is my email address on the bottom there, and I'll be around after, so if anybody is really inspired. They really were an amazing group of kids, really, really insightful, and the community was great to be a part of, really welcoming, and really eager to form those relationships with us. So if you're interested, feel free to send me an email or find me after. Thank you.
Thank you, and I'll just say that there is funding available, and we would fund this project again. So please feel free to contact Alyssa and put together a grant. So our next presentation is from the Interprofessional Team Immersion, which is a 4-session opportunity for students from 6 or 8 health professions to work together very intensely on a patient case and to get a chance to interview the patient and a family member as part of that in the interprofessional simulation laboratory that we have here in this building. And every year we do this, I say, because I have a theater background and I'm a bit of a joker, I say, PowerPoints are good, posters are great, but nothing is better than dance. And so this team is making my dreams come true. And I would say to you that all good art is an experiment. And be here with us as we experiment, because we're trying to, the thing about the team immersion is it's about the relationship that you build with your team and with the patient. And it's hard to demonstrate a relationship with a PowerPoint. And so I'm looking forward to this, these brave individuals.
Good morning. Hi, my name is Sarah. I'll be your student dentist today. I heard that you were having some tooth pain.
Yeah, I broke my tooth.
And how did that happen?
I fell.
You fell? Okay, and is that something that's happen just this one time, or is this a frequent occurrence?
I've fallen a few times.
Okay, well, I'm definitely going to help you get your tooth fixed, but I'd also like to address the fall. So if it's fine with you, I'd like to bring in a team of other health professionals to help me with this.
Okay.
Right, great. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Hey guys, I have a patient here at the Oral Health Center. She broke her tooth in a fall, and the falls have been a frequent occurrence, and I was hoping you guys could help me address that.
Sure.
Thank you. Hi.
Hi.
Hi, I'm Kira and I'm one of your student nurses. We heard that you took a fall recently. Can you tell us anything else that's been going on lately?
Well, my legs have just been feeling kind of weak and, my balance hasn't been that good. And I take a lot of medicine, so I wonder if it's from them. I also have diabetes, so my feet go numb sometimes, and I can't always afford my medication because I'm a veteran, I'm on a fixed income. So I don't know why I fell.
Okay, I'm Steph, one of your student osteopathic physicians, and it sounds like you've got a lot going on. We certainly want to help address all of those issues, so you can always follow up with me or Kira or one of our PAs since we serve similar roles. But we also have a few specialists that we'd like to get you connected with because we think they can help with some of the multifacets of what you've been going through. Is that all right?
Yeah, I have a dog. I just need to be able to take care of him. I just need to be able to walk him.
Of course. Yes, we'll do our best to make sure that that happens.
Hi guys, so we have a patient here who took a fall recently. She expressed some concerns with a long list of medications she has, as well as issues with diabetes, maybe leading to problems getting around her house with movement, and she's really concerned how she might pay for all of this. So, did I miss anything, Steph?
Yeah, she's really concerned about being able to walk her dog, so that's something she values.
Okay, yeah. All right.
Take a look. Great, thanks.
Yes.
Hi there.
Hi.
My name's Alyssa. I'm the student pharmacist here. How
Hi,
are you doing
Alyssa.
today?
I'm okay.
Yeah. All right. I heard you had some questions about your medications.
Well, it just seems like there's a lot of them, and I don't even know why I take half of them, and it's confusing, and I forget, what's for what, and sometimes I can't even afford all of them.
Yeah. No, that's definitely something that we can address. If we can actually set up an appointment for a little later time, and we can go over your medications and make sure you're getting the most out of them.
Okay.
And how does that sound?
Yeah, that would be good.
Yeah. Okay. Great.
Hi, I'm Kelly. I'm the student physical therapist here.
Hi.
I hear you have some concerns about falling lately.
Yeah, I just feel like my legs have been getting weak, and maybe my balance isn't as good as it used to be.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, well, I think I can help you with increasing your strength and your balance and getting you back to moving safely and doing the hobbies that you like to do, such as walking your dog.
yeah, that's important.
Hi, I'm Renee, and I'm
Hi,
the social
Renee.
worker around here.
Hi.
What's your dog's name?
Owen.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How old is
He's
Owen?
the best, too. I adopted
Yeah.
him, but
So I would like to talk to you about those financial concerns that you have. Is that okay?
yeah, because
Yeah.
I'm on a fixed income, but I'm a veteran, and
Yeah.
I think I might have hurt my leg in the war, so I just
Yeah, so there are lots of options out there in the community, maybe some programs we can take a look at for you since you did serve and you are a veteran, if that's something that you're interested in doing.
that would be great. I didn't know about all
Yeah,
that, so that would
yeah.
be really great.
Absolutely. So we're going to regroup a little bit, and we'll come back in like 5 or 10 minutes. Is that okay?
Mhm.
All right, we'll be right
Yeah,
back.
Thank you.
I wish there was a way for us to express this interprofessional experience we've had through the art of dance.
Going through hell while looking at heaven. Found an answer, looking for a question. Not enough words to make a sentence. It's not easy to find a way. How much water to kill a fire? How many lows can take you higher? The only road to your desire. It won't be easy to find a way. I don't know what I believe. I won't let my eyes be deceived. The wind's whispering through the trees that it's not gonna be easy. And no rights, no wrongs taken from me. 'Cause the answers live indefinitely.
have another minute or two. If anybody has any questions for us. We did a skit / dance / creative artwork. That's about as artistic as I get on paper. So I don't know if does anybody have any questions, comments, concerns? Don't all jump up at once. Calm down.
You can share our highlight.
Yeah.
Yes. I don't want to go first.
Our highlight, girl.
Your highlight.
I think it's pretty obvious how well we got along. And I know that doesn't necessarily always happen. There's a lot of different personalities. You don't know if you're going to click in the best way. And I think one of my favorite parts of this experience really was getting to know my fellow professional students and just finding ways to work together that really gelled. And I don't know, I just felt really empowered being with them, and I felt like I wasn't alone, which was very comforting, and it was an amazing experience.
I would say my highlight was seeing the overlap of different issues that our patient had that we all wanted to address, and seeing the differences in how we addressed the issues, but knowing that it all together was the best outcome for our patient.
Just sort of echoing what's already been said, I think in the review that we got from our patient after the sort of acting scenario was that he really felt true compassion from each and every one of us. So I think knowing that that was a goal that we all had and all equally achieved and coming together was probably the highlight for me.
For me, besides the fact that we all just got along great, and we all love each other, and none of us are dancers, but I think why I signed up for this is because, so nobody doubts that the best model for patient care is through interprofessional collaboration, and I just wanted to really immerse myself in that, and I learned quite a bit from everybody else.
Just to kind of go off of what everyone else has been saying, I think it was really great to be able to work together and really bring a sense of calmness to the patient who first appeared pretty concerned about falling and his medications and lots of other things, but it seemed like together we were able to make him feel better, and I think that was really great.
Yeah, I second everything that they've all said. I've really enjoyed working with all of them. We did get along very well, and I've really liked how I've got a better sense of what some of the other professions do during this experience.
Yeah, that was going to be my one comment. I've done social work for a really long time, and so when I met everybody else, I was like, "What do you do?" Hi, it's nice to meet you, but please tell me what you do. I don't understand it. So that was really nice for me to build on my strengths in my profession, but then just to learn how other professions work together as well. And like Chris was saying earlier, interprofessional collaboration really is about that relationship building, and it is about how you approach the challenges as a team, and I felt like we did a really good job. So thanks, everybody.
Part-time stagehand here. This is not to say that those of you who did presentations and posters that were not dance are not incredibly dear to my heart, but that was amazing. Our next presentation, we're going to move right through. We'll be here until 1:30, and the posters will be available for viewing until 1:30. We're running a little bit, but very worthwhilely behind, if that's a word. Our next presentation is going to be about an interprofessional service learning opportunity with day 1, and presenters, you are ready? Okay, I'll get out of your way.
So, hello, my name's Alana Eaton, and along with Julia and Robin, we worked on a service learning project with day 1. And to start off, just talking about day 1, it's a prevention and treatment program for Maine youth for mainly alcohol and drug use. And this project started last year when I became interested in working with substance use disorder and youth, but there wasn't a program at UNE, and I wanted to find a more formal involvement. So I reached out to Trisha Mason of Service Learning to see if there had been a relationship in the past, and there had been, and we used that as a jumping off point. And for this, last year I worked with a student from occupational therapy, and we conducted a survey at the men and women, girl and boy houses at day one out in Hollis. And we asked them what they were interested in learning from us, health professional wise, and things of that sort. And from that survey, we learned that they were interested in meditation and yoga and general overall wellness and stress management. So jumping off from there, we implemented the program this fall as an official service learning project, and the youth came to an earlier IPEC event this semester, and they shared their stories about what their lives have been like. And so the project kind of took on a different turn this semester than what was originally envisioned. It kind of became more based on mindfulness activities and making that mind-body connection, because that really served to speak to us as a college, as well as social work and physical therapy. So when we went there, we've done yoga, we've done team building exercises, we've done physical therapy strength exercises with a framework of going in and just using mindfulness and being present, and also having a relational aspect. And then in addition, it also has taken on more of a narrative approach, where we go in and we listen to their stories and we build relationships through listening to their stories.
So there's a lot of opportunities coming up in the next semester to be involved with all professions, but I'll speak from the physical therapy perspective that although today actually we're going to day one, and it will just be our third session, so there hasn't been too many opportunities to implement all the ideas that we've had, but in the future I think some of the things that would be really beneficial is using physical activity to help these young men with a lot of the stressors they're dealing with. And we've already done a little bit of yoga and just teaching proper technique for injury prevention with these guys. So I think that's an avenue that it could continue to move forward. And so I encourage any of you that are interested to think about being involved.
And from a social work perspective, we focused, as Alana mentioned, on mindfulness. And that was within meditation practice. The guys were really open-minded, and they sat there and meditated in various forms with us throughout these 3 sessions. So it was really brave and amazing. Again, yoga practice and deep breathing. So the activities that we took part in are proven to decrease anxiety and depression and increase the relaxation response. So again, serving that mind-body connection, really focusing on breathing to try and eliminate a lot of the psychological stressors that they're experiencing within substance use. And I put a picture of the road here because we've been driving all together and carpooling out to Buxton, and there just has been a lot of overlap in our professions that were really amazing to come across. Robin's amazing, and Alana I've had classes with, and we just had really great drives. So that was a huge part of this experience, was getting to learn from each other, even just on the way there. So some overlap, an emphasis on holistic health in both OT and social work, as well as person-centered care, person and environment as a lens, and the power of validation. You know, Robin seems like a very natural social worker, and we learned a lot from her about PT, and it was a really great overlap. So again, we also have kind of a recruitment mission. So if you guys are interested, you know, the guys are so amazing. It's fun to be there. An hour flies by, and it's just a really great opportunity to do something different and serve your community while learning from each other interprofessionally. So thank you so much.
Thank you. And we'll now have a short presentation about the Interprofessional Student Advisory Team. And I'll just say it's not a requirement that Julia Bergquist be involved in every project, but she makes everything better. So if you can get her, do so. Here.
Thank you. Okay, so I'm here as a GAPSA liaison for semester 2, what we're going into, as well as a social work program liaison as part of the Interprofessional Student Advisory Board. Again, recruitment is my mission. We'd love for you all to join. So essentially the purpose is to increase interprofessional collaboration to serve patient care on our campus and in our community. We want to facilitate that by increasing social and educational opportunities for interprofessional collaboration to occur. This semester, we really focused on that social component as getting all the professions in a room and learning about each other and starting this process. So this is a list of our events that we've engaged in thus far. Starting in September, we all kind of got together and gathered interest for the group and really redesigned our constitution and how we wanted to move forward. Then we did some co-sponsoring of events. We had a meeting with the provost and talked about our interprofessional experiences on campus, which was really helpful. And then lastly, we just did a bunch of centerpieces for local nursing homes. It was interprofessional pizza party with lots of glitter, and that was just kind of a more lighthearted approach to the holidays and getting all together. So essentially where we are now is that we have a lot of opportunities moving forward. We have a very comfortable budget currently, and we'd love for you all to become engaged and bring your ideas to the table. Semester 2, we've had some changeover with people going out on clinicals. I'll be here. I would love for you guys to really take advantage of our resources. So the Vice President board member role is currently still available, just a little plug. And then this is our email address. So please contact us or even IPEC, or if you see me around campus and have any questions, go for it, because we'd really love to have you. Thank you for your time.
Before I wrap up the formal agenda for today, as always, thank you for attending. We have the posters, they'll be up until 1:30, and you may see some folks walking around with clipboards and checklists, and they are from the Westbrook College of Health Professions Research and Scholarship Committee, faculty who are here to just have a look at your posters. They're going to do some questioning, and they're going to do some rating according to their rubric, and there will be a winner of the best poster, which we will announce probably via email a little bit later. So if you weren't nervous enough, now it's time to go stand by your poster and represent. And we do take attendance at every IPEC event, and I have some winners of the $10 bookstore gift cards. If anybody's here, Alice Tibbetts. Ho ho! A winner. Chelsea Johnson. Kathleen Baptista. No, or Tim Fuller. I know Tim's here. So please take your time to look at the posters. There's still some food left. I thank you so much for coming, and have a great holiday season.